My beautiful stars, reading time. Sorry for not coming on yesterday. Yesterday's TikTok collective, that was quite it was an energy that was hard to shake, okay? And I find it's crazy now that I'm on YouTube, just the different kind of energy on both platforms. It baffles me. Well, it doesn't really, because I think YouTube, I'm not good with all this Gen Z, Gen Y, all of that kind of stuff, but I think it's just more collectively an older generation. I'm pretty sure this was one of the first social media kind of apps, right? And I just find that people over here are a lot more centered, a lot more balanced, a lot more life experience. A lot more accepting is probably the word. It's just polar opposite kind of energies on these platforms. And anyway, I'm rambling, I'm sidetracking. So after yesterday's reading, I really activated in nostalgia, but I started reminiscing on my beautiful Nan, bless her soul. And this memory kept coming up. Out of all memories, this is what was coming over my mind. But me and my Nan, every day at 4 o'clock, it was either 4 or 4:30, there was this show here, and it was called Days of Our Lives. And the introduction was, like the sands through the hourglass, these are the days of our lives. That's what I kept hearing in my mind. And I kept seeing in my mind's eye my beautiful Nan every day at 4:30, whatever the time was. She would get ready. It was her escape from the world, right? And I used to sit down next to her. I think I would have been about 7, 8 years old. And we used to watch this show together. And my Nan, she was a beautiful Christian woman. She was just... like, now that I look back on it, I'm so surprised that she actually watched something like this. It was clearly her guilty little pleasure, but it was just such a dramatic soap opera. Like, just the storylines in it, from what I can remember, very intense, very dramatic is the word, right? And I know this might sound irrelevant, but it's clearly important for this collective. Either, you've just lost your beautiful Nan, your Nana that you had a very strong connection with. Maybe she was more of a parent to you growing up, or maybe you yourself are going through nostalgia, or someone in your spirit team, Nana wise, you find a lot of signs and synchronicities are sent from her. But besides that point, I was also thinking, this collective, you either have a life that is quite easily accessible, so people can really look into your life and give you opinions on your lifestyle choices, your decisions, let it be to do with love or your direction, whatever it is. I think the right collective, you're easily accessible to view in on. And I also feel the right collective, let it be you've had kind of quite a drama-filled life, or a life that, could be written in books or soap operas, or let it be the connection on your mind. There's a lot of judgment, a lot of opinions, quite dramatic in itself. But I know that message is very relevant for this beautiful collective. So anyway, let's get into it. Hopefully today's reading is, even though I'm feeling drama, it's not as intense as yesterday. And yeah. But let's get into it. I do also feel maybe this collective, you could be a bit of an older generation, or you were around, you're an 80s baby, 90s baby, you were around when there wasn't any. I just keep remembering the TV and the certain channels. We only had channel 7, 9 and 10 back then, and ABC and SBS. They were the only channels we could access. There wasn't this Netflix and Foxtel, and I feel there's a few messages with that tie this collective to this reading. But anyway, let's get into it before I just... but I just want to see how you guys are feeling right now, and we'll see what's going on. And okay, first card, the runner, and incoming communication. So maybe you are thinking right now as you're watching this, there's someone that maybe has really been running from this connection or avoiding the emotion of you and this love story. I think this collective, you do think that this running energy thinks about communicating with you, or you definitely have hopes. There's clearly a reason the message I was seeing in the beginning of this ties into this. Maybe you guys have had a lot of opinions on your connection. Maybe you are someone that questions, if you're in the public eye in some kind of way, maybe you have moments of thinking, does this affect my connection? Does this make them stay away? Maybe there's, you know, you're someone that really glows. Maybe you're someone that is quite magnetizing, more extroverted. Maybe this person's more introverted. There's a reason I feel everything for a collective, and there's something here. This love story hasn't been easy, that's for sure. Okay, you could resonate with being on the divine journey, the twin flame journey, and let's be real, that can feel a bit dramatic and a bit like a bloody soap opera. Or as well, I will say it, maybe you've just received communication. I've had a few collectives here over the past week where communication is coming in. But I feel intuitively maybe it's a little bit more of a, I don't want to say stress, but maybe it's a bit more of an overwhelm. You've been thinking about this energy a bit more of recent. Let's keep going. Main collective, how are you feeling? Magic. Okay, so you're definitely a connected collective. Maybe this person's just popped up in your mind randomly of recent. Let's talk about train of thought quickly, because I always talk about intuition, and sometimes it's hard for you guys to decipher, is it just you thinking about this person, or is it them thinking about me? Is that why I'm thinking about them? And I give a few examples of this, but a really good way to look at it is the whole train of thought, right? So let's just say you're going about your day, and let's say you turn the radio on, or you put your music on, and the first song you hear is a song that ties you to this person. So the train of thought, because of a certain song, you've been activated into a memory or an emotion of this person, right? So that's your train of thought. You've created that energy through the train, right? So that's your thought pattern, right? Nostalgia's activated that. Now, let's just say you've gone to the shops and you're in a really good mood. You're not thinking about anything. And let's just say a certain shop you're going to that you go to every day, and you're paying at the counter, and then all of a sudden, boom, this person comes into your mind. There's no train of thought leading up to that memory or that emotion. So what does that mean? You intuitively have picked up someone is accessing your energy. And this doesn't just have to come from this person. This could be about a family member. It could be about a friendship. It could be about anything. It could be about a pet that you left at home. Like, it could be about anything. When a thought accesses you without a train behind it to activate it, that is your magic. That is your energy picking up access. Someone is accessing me by thinking about me. Does that make sense? This is clearly an important message for this collective. I think sometimes you question, are these my emotions, or are they thinking of me right now? So another good example, if you're avidly watching tarot, what's going to happen? You're constantly going to be thinking about this person. So that's not them thinking about you, that's your train of thought. You are accessing a reading to get information, so that makes you go into nostalgia and think. Okay, I'm not saying it's not your reading, but there's a reason I'm saying this. If you are trying to decipher your emotion to their emotion, have a tarot purge. Have, just be in stillness. If you are not wanting to think about this person, but you keep putting yourself into situations that accesses the memory and the thought of them, that's not them thinking about you. That's you thinking about them. Does that make sense? There's a reason I'm saying this, okay? Because I do think this collective, maybe you think this person spies, maybe you think they remote view you, always access your energy if you're in the public eye. But again, if you keep putting yourself in situations to activate the thought pattern of them, it doesn't mean they're sitting over their phone waiting to message you. You're creating that with nostalgia, reminiscing, ruminating, okay? There's a reason that's come to my mind. I think this collective, the way that you feel, sometimes you think your magic, your supernatural abilities, your sixth sense, your belief could also affect this connection, okay? And I think sometimes you do have that question on your mind. Is this my sixth sense? Or am I confusing this energy? If you are an easily accessible person to view in on, that could confuse anyone. So I think you need to really maybe start noticing that in your day-to-day. How or when does this person pop into your mind? Okay? Because that will help you really realize, are they still in avoidance? Are they still running? Or is there a transition here? Okay? Maybe as well, side note, you could feel, if you know this person is connected to some kind of magical being through their family or friends, maybe you think certain magic has been implemented in this journey towards your connection. We say don't give energy into that stuff. This is ruled by the divine. No magic can interfere, it's your veils. Just saying, okay? You're a divine connection, if that's what you believe. With these two, it makes me feel you do. So understand the protection from the divine when it comes to your dreams. So maybe you're having a lot of dreams. Now, if you're dreaming of this person, that is what you're connecting to the astrals, right? So let's say if you know you have different sleeping patterns. Let's say this person works night shift, you work day shift. There's a reason this is coming to my mind. You know you sleep at a different time to this person, and then they're awake while you're asleep, vice versa, and you have a very vivid dream of them. That means as you were sleeping, this person was thinking about you. So they entered your dream state, okay? Sorry, I'm giving these examples for a reason, because I find this a lot. Even people that have been on this journey for a very long time, they can still question this, all right? But clearly the Rite Collective, maybe you've been having some vivid dreams and maybe asking yourself, are they dreaming of me too? Mirroring, literally. I think every question you ask yourself, it's the same question for them. Do they feel this? Do they have this emotion? I definitely think the Rite Collective, you think this person mirrors your soul. That's for sure. Runner, new beginning. So you do have hopes there's a new beginning here. There's a fresh start on its way, that this person will take a leap of faith. I think this is more of a reading if this person's actually activated to this frequency. Hold on a sec. I want to get my yes or no deck. Hold on. All right. So let's actually ask the question if this person's activated as of yet, because that's the first step. Without activation, they're still in their mundane. So let's ask. This seems like it's going to be a clarity reading. Okay. Is this person be assertive? Have they yes. Okay. So they have activated. That's good. I always say, and this is where sometimes the divine journey can really send havoc on you guys. So until that activation takes place for them, just how when you... All right, so true divines, when your separation takes place, and I've gone into deeper explanation about this in the past, you, for the first time, you truly do. You go through that kundalini, I call it the kundalini awakening, right? You break free from the shackles of the programming. You start to see this universe, the magic it entails, the signs, the synchronicities, the cycles. You really start to activate your 4D mind, which connects you to your 5D, 6D, 7D. It just makes you understand what this universe really entails, okay? Now, when you guys activate, and normally before your activation, well, this day and age, it's a bit harder because there's twin flame information everywhere. But normally when you guys activate, this is when you get flooded with the information because you're ready, your vessel is ready to learn. I give the example about readers. Sometimes you might watch one reader and not resonate with them. They don't connect to your soul because you don't connect to their frequency, the path that they're on. Yet you could watch another reader and completely be enthralled by them, okay? Because they resonate with what you need to learn at that point in your stage of evolution. Anyone that is an avid tarot watcher, maybe you've noticed this about yourself. You could really be enthralled by one tarot reader for a period of time, and then within a few months, you don't really listen to them anymore. You're listening to some, because you're evolving, right? So your energy is evolving and it's going to where it needs to go to learn, to evolve your soul, right? And this is why I also say don't have judgment on other people and their craft because everyone's on a different journey. But anyway, until this person activates into the activates to the energy of learning the knowledge about this journey, you've got no hope. They're just running. Does that make sense? And this is why I say they're about 6 to 9 months behind you. So when you start your separation and you're just sitting there pining, and you're not using your activation for the reason it was granted, because the reason you guys were granted, it's not just for your union, it's to change the world, literally. It's about to create a new outlook. It's to make people believers. It's to teach unconditional love. It's to teach spiritual evolution. Whatever path you choose to go down to, there's far greater reason the universe, and you chose, not just the universe, you chose this lifetime to see. It's to teach. And this is why we really talk about mission work. Now, until you let go of the pain and you transmute that pain, because they always say, before you guys activate, your empaths, you feel everything. You've had a life of pain, kind of like that soap opera, very dramatic, right? But it was all for a reason. Now, your activation is to teach you to no longer just be an empath, but a transmuter and a healer. So how empaths work, they read a room, they pick up the energy, they think they're anxious, their emotions always up and down. A lot of you guys think you have ADHD, bipolar, and blah, 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 blah. Is your mind and you're always reading energy. Your activation is to learn, hold on a minute, I've experienced that for a reason. I'm going to feel that. I'm going to transmute that. And through my mission work, I'm going to transmute it and relay a message to whatever path you choose to heal my collective in need. This is why you've had so much trauma. You weren't born just to be an empath. You were born to be a healer. And this journey, without mission work, you're still sitting in the energy of an empath. There is a reason you guys have had such a tumultuous life. I say it all the time. The reason beautiful activated people have had so much trauma is so you know how to resonate with your collective. You know how to feel what they're going through with empathy, but also a message of guidance. So this is why that transmuting, the alchemy of emotion. You need to understand all aspects, why this was created, what the lessons were. So then your beautiful community, the people that are connected to your thread through your mission work, you can heal them through a beautiful message that makes them see and understand. Does that make sense? So until you guys get out of the initial stage of just separation mourning, this person's my person, finding out all this information but not doing anything with it, they're stuck. Your first step is to activate your path. And once you've activated your path and you start realizing, you know what makes me happy and fulfilled? Because we're servants for this world. I don't care what anyone says. We chose a life to activate. We chose a life to help others and serve others. That's why we're here, okay? When you start to realize your mission is healing you, it's not this person. It's the people you help that put sparkle in your soul. It's the people you help that evolve you. It's the people that you help. Through every person that you help, it helps you that little bit more. When you guys really start to embody your mission work and that becomes your priority, not your union, not your external union, your internal union, and uniting the people that need you and helping the people that need you, that's when a true divine, their activation takes place, right? So the reason I asked this question, because I wanted to see, is the person connected to you activated? And yes, which means the right collective, you are doing some form of transmuting and healing, whatever path you have chosen, okay? And through you standing strong in that 5% and making people believers and healing people through the trauma you had to experience, this person is learning to be assertive. They're learning to see. They're learning to start removing the shackles that have kept them bound, just how it happened for you. They're ready. Okay, very important detail. I don't think it's spoken about enough in this community. I don't think people really get, it's not just this fantasy, this romance tale, this soap opera. It's all for a reason. We're here to help. Okay, incoming communication. Clearing and healing karma, so you get it. But I feel this collective, there's a reason I say everything. There's an overwhelm coming over you right now, and it's understandable, but you're not silly. You know there's clearing and purging and healing that, you know, maybe still needs to be created in your soul as well. But I feel this collective, even though you know there's more to be done, you still have moments of craving, and that's understandable, but you need to send strength and release. Okay. Magic. Yeah, your psychic abilities. Another confirmation. So the first deviation about magic, the thought, the train of thought. But I do think this collective, your mission, you're a tarot reader, you're a psychic medium, you're a channeler. Again, you teach healing. There's a reason we say everything. You've got to remember your activation activates your dormant gifts. The gifts that we were all born with, but because of society and programming, 3-4 years old, we cut off our magic because there's not places in the world to teach parents how to nurture their children's magic. And it's just very sad how our world's been programmed. But this collective, you've reactivated those gifts you've had at birth. So you see, okay, you see your 4D mind's activated, all right? But I think the right collective, the other deviation was, I think sometimes you have moments of thinking your gift and your sight can create a boundary here, but that doesn't matter. And that thought shouldn't even cross your mind, because through your magic and your gifts, you help people, and that's your priority. You've got to remember your runner is as special and magical as you, right? But until they're ready for activation, so until everything works in cycles, their feminine gets on their path and starts helping, they're running away from their own abilities. They're running away from their Hierophant and their High Priestess. And this is why I say when they're in avoidance, they think you're the devil. They think you're crazy because they don't want to face their inner soul. They don't want to face their greatness just yet. They've had a life full of trauma as well, but they're not ready to rip away the shadows. They're not ready for the frequency, right? But when you guys surrender to complete belief and you really understand, I am changing this world. If I change one person's outlook, it's a domino effect. If I change one person, they're going to relay that message to someone else, and your teachings matter. Your teachings help and your teachings change. And I get it. This is a trigger point for me. Sometimes I don't feel like I'm doing enough. I had a meltdown yesterday in the reading, but you know, I used to always say to myself, just one person, that's all that matters. And that is a thought pattern that even myself I need to fall back to sometimes. But you need to remember that as a collective as well. We help one person. That's us putting our print on the world. But I do think the right collective, sometimes all those deviations we said about your gifts come up and you think about it, but your service to the world is more important than your external union. And when you really, really believe that in your soul, and you appreciate every little angel that comes across your path. I always say I'm a mama bear for you guys. I love you all to the depths of my soul, and I always say I don't give enough appreciate. I'm gonna get emotional. I appreciate you all of you more than you'll ever know. Okay. But this collective, you might be an emotional person. This might be a trigger point for you as well. Maybe sometimes you just want to do more, but it'll unfold the way it's meant to. Okay. Dreams. Breakup. Maybe you just had a very vivid dream about a breakup with them. That can be getting into your throat. I always say, especially special people, actually anyone that has a very vivid dream state, sometimes those dreams can feel so real, they can ruin our day. So maybe you had a very painful dream about a separation. Maybe you dreamt your separation. I've got a few divines that actually happens. You dream exactly how it's going to happen, how it's going to unfold. I would that they don't just activate us in this 3D plane, they activate us in the astral plane, the multiverse, the 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D. A lot of you guys, once you really activate, it's not just in this aspect, you're so connected. Okay. Mirroring. Change. This is beautiful. So you can feel change. Can I say this? This is very positive. You're not silly, but I do think you still long for communication. But from what I can see, you're on your mission. You know your priorities. You know when certain emotion comes up, it needs to be cleared and it shouldn't be fixated on, which is refreshing. It's beautiful, which also means this collective, I think you've been on this journey for quite a long time. Okay, but maybe this is your higher self saying just one thing that's a little bit alarming. We didn't see divine masculine here. We've still got runner avoidance. There's a reason I asked the question, are they activated? So I think you're still on the fence, which means you clearly haven't seen the spiritual evolution in this person. Because if you're questioning, are they a runner? Does there need to, you haven't seen their hierophant, their high priestess activated tangibly. Okay, it's just all thought pattern. All right, so we need to now get out of this is my runner, my avoidant, to my twin flame, to my divine person. Remember, it's a transition, not just twins. You're meant to meet as twins and activate into divine energy, light energy. Okay, so the one thing that just outlook, let's not see them as a runner anymore. That's my divine counterpart energy. Okay, this is nice. All right, just before we break down this person, I just want to quickly confirm the universe, what they're putting you through right now, just daily, how you're feeling. Then I'm actually tempted to see what's actually around you. So magic. 3 cards, the only one that's up. So the universe is activating this nostalgia in you for a reason, okay? So even back to the start, how I brought up my nana, maybe nostalgia's really come over you, but about your person right now. This is what the universe is getting you through. I always say readings find you for a reason, okay? I don't agree that all readings are meant for you if they come across your, this is what's going to happen, but sometimes there's hidden messages that you need, okay? But this collective, they're saying this energy is activated in you for a far greater reason than to stress if they're going to communicate with you right now. Does that make sense? It's something about your internal yin and yang, your feminine, masculine, they're trying to balance right now, okay? But another confirmation. 3 cards, the only one that's up. You know you're on this journey, so don't question it. Divine partner mirror, heart chakra activation, reflection, other self, catalyst, awakening, soulmate, yin yang, balancing feminine and masculine energy. Maybe you've had a moment to tell yourself, I need to clear out the negative train of thought. I need to really stand in my truth and my power and my knowing. I know this is my journey. I'm not going to let the time away affect my belief anymore. Look at who I am. Look at who I help. Look at, like, you can see the proof is in the pudding with your own divine activation and journey. Does that, right, collective, you'll get that. Oh, no. Oh, you've got snake with your divine masculine energy. All right, we need to shift this, my angels. 28th of the 7th could be a birthday or a memory. 11th of the 11th, birthday or a memory. But deception, jealousy, betrayal, backstab, toxic, silent treatment, seduction, sexuality, counterproductive, focusing on this. I want one more for snake energy. Expect the unexpected. I don't want to sound like a broken record. You can't, incoming communication, expect the unexpected, but have an image of them as a snake. That doesn't work. You could have, side note, maybe, like I said, Days of Our Lives, remote viewing, people watching you. There could be someone that you feel is quite deceitful in the background. I just hope you don't think it's this person, because you're tarnishing the view on something so exceptional and magical and beautiful and pure. All right, I'm not trying to say there wasn't hurt, but that's not the image you want to have of your person. But expect the unexpected, and if you are wanting something unexpected from your person but you see them this way, it's not going to go well, is all I'm trying to say. Okay, I really delved into that on yesterday's reading. I don't want to pick up that same energy for this collective, so if that is a burden for you, maybe watch there's a reason I said that, maybe watch yesterday's collective, because I'm feeling so much magic in this collective, so I don't want to kind of tarnish it with all of this explanation about this. The last 2 days, I think I've really kind of gone over that quite clearly, so just the video back and the video before that. Okay, so again, in Tarot, the Fool is the start of the journey. I don't know, or this collective, you would know, it's the progressional story, right? So the universe is trying to give you a new start. You're hoping for a new start. You're hoping for a new story. But there is something here, this collective, if you're wanting a new story with this person and that's how you're seeing them, that's not going to happen. Watch yesterday's reading. But if for the right collective there is something else to do with betrayal and unexpected, let it be you think this is someone tied to your person, still you shouldn't focus on it. There's no need to put focus on something like this, because it'll make you question. There's a reason we deviated about train of thought. So if there is someone popping in your energy out of nowhere that you're putting into that category, remove it with strength and peace and just claim your energy back. You don't need to worry. You're a divine collective. No one can get through your ancestors. They just get karma for trying to be this kind of energy anyway. So let the karmic will take care of it without adding... Like, that's just a burden emotionally. You've got enough to deal with. Does that make sense? And like I said, I was seeing Days of Our Lives, so drama. Yarn. We can't... What's out of our hands should be out of our mind and heart. These complicated circumstances, feeling strung along, puzzling, all tied up, a conundrum, tangled, hassles, problems. Again, if you truly believe this, the universe is wanting you to clear this emotion. We all have problems in life, divine or not. We all have ups and downs. We all have puzzling moments. Even when you're in union, even when you're in your path and you're in your divine right, you're always going to have ups and downs. That's life. We're in this human experience. It's a roller coaster. This journey is to help us learn that it's not that life gets easier, we just get better. We know how to deal with it. We know how to face, you know, conflicts, and instead of making them conflicts, we now view them as challenges. We now view them as an obstacle that can be overcome, but how do I tackle it this time without making it overwhelm me and make me feel like I'm in a conundrum and I'm, you know, raveled in deceit and deception? This journey is to heal that outlook and soothe that outlook and understand life's not working against you, it's working for you. Every time emotion comes up like this, you're clearly maybe a bit of a distrusting person, or it's quite easy for you to turn straight to the glass is half empty instead of seeing the glass is half full, if not overflowing, for all situations, because it's these emotions that evolve us when we see them right. Happiness, comfort, keeps us stagnant and stuck. It's these emotions people should welcome more, because it grows us when we learn how to handle it, when we learn how to see it differently. Okay, this will come up your whole life, but it should never overwhelm someone to an extent of disbelief, just in whatever the situation is. All right, twin flame. Now is not the time. So this is what's around you. You need to clear this. Okay. Middle of the season. Focus on your purpose. Be purpose driven right now. You need to pick yourself up and not let this overtake you. For the right collective. Aging over time. That's good. That's good. I actually love this. So this collective, you know, this behavior is not, but I don't want to say behavior. It sounds like I'm scolding you. You know, this energy isn't right. This fixation, you're developing over time. So you're letting go of betrayal. I like that. That's good. You're not silly. You know, this outlook stops things. So this is probably why you yourself are probably questioning, it's not time. Developing over time, the good stuff, finessing, alchemizing, transforming, ripening, aging well. So you are starting to break free from that. Look, that's good, which means you've walked through this fire a lot, literally walked through this fire a lot. That makes me smile. That makes me happy. One more for that. Oh, the Emperor. You get it. Okay, good. It's so funny because yesterday I said if you're seeing it like this, positive, but if it was a fox, you're seeing it like that, negative. Maybe you watched yesterday's reading, this collective. That's beautiful. So you know, you're not silly. If I think like this, I'm pushing this away. This needs to age. We've all done silly things. We've all had snake fox behavior. We've all done things we're not proud of. We've all done deceit and deception and little white lies, and we've all done it. No human's perfect. I like that. That's good. So let's get into not right time, twin flames. Hold on. You're starting to take accountability of your outlook. You're not blaming them and you're not blaming the universe. You're starting to realize this is me putting it on pause. And that is a very good outlook, okay? Because when you start to realize and stop blaming, and you start to realize, hold on, I'm the master of my journey. I hold myself back. I am me. I am me, how I feel, how I see. That's me, my choice. It's no one else's choice, okay? How can I see someone as my divine masculine if I also see them as a snake? Like, you're starting to realize that doesn't make sense. Good. Love that. So with this, now you're on target. Good. I feel this collective, you already watched yesterday's reading. I love that. And that's not something that can change overnight, but if you're picking yourself up, that's really good. Salem rang a bell. Oh, I love that. So, okay. Just side note. So we could have a father issue right now in your life. Because I'm seeing twin, Emperor is also father energy, but we've got, yes, this is masculine energy, the person you know. There could be a couple of things around you. Because I keep going back to, these are the days of our lives. Like, there's a reason, there's a lot of reasons that's tying into this collective. Hold on, let's get one for, oh, and side note, because remember this is to balance your masculine and your feminine. I feel this collective, just how much I was talking about mission, I think you're really refocused now on your empire and your mission and your action and your leadership qualities. And you're like, I'm going to focus on what I can control and I'm going to trust the universe and let this heal through time. I'm going to trust in my wine energy. Okay. So that red wine. UB40, is that what they were called? I don't know the rest of the words. Okay. Maybe it is just one male here, because this is about the communication, wanting to negotiate, but they're flighty. We know that. We've got to change that outlook. But they do make you nervous. We went over the ADHD and the bipolar. We went over all that. But making contact, text, call. But again, now I'm seeing this. I think when it comes over, you're changing your thought pattern or self-talk, your inner monologue. I learned that from you guys. I didn't know if it was called anyway. Okay, so just a little tip. Okay, and this is going to take effort and consistency, but what I would do if I was you, they say 21 days to imprint a habit. I believe it's 66. So let's go 70 days to really like solidify it. Do 90 days if you want. So get a whiteboard, or if you've got a whiteboard, write 90 days or 70, whatever you want to do. Now, every day, right? So you know that silly 70-day hard or 75 days hard or something? Make your own 75 days hard. If you want to put fitness in it, of course, but let it be. Okay, so every day, write on your board when you think about this person to do something that puts positive energy into that, whatever that may be. Release it with strength, positive affirmations, whatever it is, claiming your energy back. Let it be every day you're wanting to put more effort into your daily life and your schedule. You want to be a bit more routine. I'm going to make my bed at this time. I'm going to do this at this time. I'm going to make this day, this 70 days, 90 days of improving your soul and improving your outlook. So what you want to do is write your days, and then at the bottom, write the little points that you're wanting to achieve every day. And this works on mental discipline. Okay. Mental discipline, even put on their acceptance. So every day you're not accepting certain situations, you want to work on acceptance. Whatever the case is, you write your little list. Now, every day that you achieve that, you're going to cross that off. Now, I'm telling you, it's not going to be easy. Some people will do this for a day or two and want to give up on it. That's giving up on yourself. So you don't want to give up on yourself. This is where mental discipline and willpower gets activated. Those days you want to say no, those days you cannot be bothered, they're the days you push, because they're the days that you evolve your soul. Because you don't give into the magnetic pull of I don't want to say dark energy, but let's just put it as dark. And I think all energy is transformative and beautiful, and it's the dark energy that expands us more when dealt with right? So every day you don't want to do it, you've got to do it, okay? And you watch, after this time period, you're going to feel completely different. You really will, but you can't give up on yourself, because that's all it is. People do it for a day or two and they give up. I can't be bothered. This isn't working. It will work. Be stronger than the magnet, okay? Just advice. Birthdays or memories. 12th of the 7th, 7th of the 12th, 28th of the 7th. July is important for this collective. 23rd of the 9th. Okay, new beginning. Trust in the divine. So this is good. Divine timings at play. Divine timings at play in your life. Which means your wheel's ticking here. This is going to create a soul spark for you. Yeah. Can I say, like, why did they put a beautiful little cat on this card? Like, cats are just magical and pure. I know yarn, but why would you put a beautiful little cat face on there? Just saying. Beautiful. So every time the negativity, the this or that, confidence, guidance, trust your inner knowing. This will set you free from a limiting outlook. Break you free from shackles of the mind. Believe in your power, resilience and stamina. It's not going to be easy. This next 70, 90 days, it's not going to be easy. Anything you want to cut out of your life, anything that you know holds you back, anything that stops you from your greatness, anything that makes you feel just a version of yourself that you want to improve, whatever it is, write it on that list. And every day, that's what you need to focus on. And chuck on that list 15 minutes of gratitude every day, especially before you go to sleep. Myself, we don't have technology in the bedroom. We don't have phones in the bedroom of a night. I always say it's not good. So just personally, maybe 15 minutes before you go to sleep every night, charge everything outside, right? Sit in stillness, find your center, give gratitude just before you close your eyes. Really focus on spirit, really focus on your team. Give thanks, everything that you feel proud of the day, everything you're thankful for. Let it be your roof, your house. Just focus on 15 minutes of gratitude before you close your eyes at night, okay? Just little things like this instead of doom scrolling and like, it's just going to help so much. Trust the process. It's not going to be easy, but boy, oh boy, you got this. You got the strength. You've got blood of fire, and still you can you can do anything you put your mind to. And I'll tell you something. It's those hard things that you overcome, those obstacles, that makes you feel empowered and strong. And you're like, yeah. All right, let's get into it. All right. First, I want to see just what's around you, because I wanted to get these. Okay, what's around this beautiful collective? Oh, that's way too many. Guardian angel, we brought that up at the start. A loved one is watching over you. Okay. Oh, gosh. First card. Don't have that expectation. Don't have that expectation, but this is going to help. You've been on this journey long enough. It's just a few tweaks in your mind. They'll be back. Expect to hear from them soon. I don't think it's just yet. If a 6 comes out, we're rolling for months. Anything else is weeks. I'm not doing days here. 2. I don't think you'll be able to change that habit in 2 weeks. Maybe you will if you're as strong as I feel. 2. Let's say 2 months. It could be 2 weeks. It's up to you. How much power are you going to put into this? How much strength and stamina and inner knowing? 2. Yeah, it's not the right time. I don't think it's the right... Hold on. I would say 2 months. I would not say 2... Oh, what? It's not the right time just yet. Hold on. I want one more for no, because that is throwing me a little bit. Maybe there's communication, but it's not time for commitment. Wow, that's a lot there. So a new day will come, but growth. So it's something about growth. So don't have expectation of commitment and union. Have an expectation of closing out a cycle and getting off a layer that you're stuck on. Truth. So there's a truth that needs to be spoken. Past, present, future. So uniting. So getting off a layer. So whatever's coming here, I'm going to say 2. I'm not going to say 2 weeks because I want you guys to focus on yourself, but there is something coming where at least you can have a conversation to not get stuck. So I always say, true divines, you get stuck on a layer that you can't get past. Most of the layer I see and this is a general reading, but there's a reason I'm saying it for this collective. Your layer is every time they come in for communication, you wear a mask. You're like, hey, how are you? Acting like nothing's happened, like this hasn't affected you, right? Even through breadcrumbing, stale energy, you just have such acceptance of their bad behavior when inside you're a hurricane. So you lack your authentic self, which means they always present with a mask. So there's a reason I'm saying that for this collective. If every time this person's come in and it's been dry and you've been extremely accepting, giving more empathy to them, to your own self and your own heart, you'll have a lesson with this. Until you break free from the layer that holds you back, you're not on the evolution of union. So the universe is going to grant you an energy to at least break you free from the layer you're stuck on. But that's up to you with how you deal with it. Okay. Yeah, mental anxiety. So this person, just side note, they could be going through actual health issues. I just heard that you might not be aware of, but mental anxiety with this return. So they're very stressed about returning. So even though there's an activation, I'm really going to break them down, but even though they're still very, I don't think they're the best yet with their communication skills. I think I just keep hearing rejection trauma for this person. So I think they get very overwhelmed with the feeling they might be rejected and not chosen. They remind me of a cut and run. Okay, so if they still have a bit of that burden, they're not going to show their true feelings and emotions. It might just be a little bit more surface level. Whatever the case, it's that unsent messages they're consumed. It's putting mental anxiety, which I don't think this person likes. It's like they haven't made a decision just yet. So they're definitely going over it a lot though. Don't rush it. So this could even be, and I see this a lot with Mercury retrograde. I see this a lot as well in the divine community. I always say there's normally two kinds of energies when they return. They're either very successful, they're really proud of themselves, or they come from a very broken place. So it's like they lose everything, just how you guys lost everything, right? For this to be change of residence, move in with your partner underneath no is not the right time. If you guys started very quickly in the past, this person moved in very quick, vice versa, 0 to 100, right? And this is a reason this is coming to my mind. This person's coming from a place of destruction. It's dry, it's this, and maybe they're a little bit like, this is going on, that's going on, I need a bit of help. They're saying don't let your empathy and guilt for their circumstances take over. It might be hard for you, but there's something here. It's not the right time to rush things, and definitely not move in with someone, okay? Like, I don't see how this person would have the confidence to say, can I come and stay with you for a bit? But if they're going through, there's a reason it came to my mind. Hold on, I need a tarot for that. Something's blocked here, moon. So anxiety, instability. They could misconception, uncertainty, blocked intuition, dreams, deception. I just wouldn't. I think they're coming from a place of a lot of instability and uncertainty. But it could also be, I'm hearing, maybe this is what they're stressing about. Things will have to, especially if there's distance. Hold on, I want one more. Justice, whatever it is, purple curtain, karmic. There's a lesson here, so something's coming back around. There was a part of me that thought, is spirit telling me that I'm a bit blocked with that? I'm not seeing that completely right. But then whatever the case it's meant to be, it's a justice, it's an energy. There's something here about doing things right, truth and balance to the situation. Purple curtain, our armor, our shadow, bad, good karma in life because of our actions, our decision. There's something here I think is coming back full circle for a lesson, so do it right this time. Last time, if you rushed it, don't rush it again. This could be them thinking, I can't rush this again. Maybe there's a bit fear this is going to take off too quickly. Whatever it is, the reason I'm feeling you guys need to just breathe, put a bit of a pause on it, and more break the layer instead. There's definitely a big life lesson coming with this, and if you're someone, not just with this person but every connection, you tend to rush things, it doesn't work. The universe is trying to show you that shit doesn't work for you, so do the opposite. Okay, important. Whatever it is, justice is at play. Huge lesson here. It's kind of that Wheel of Fortune energy. Do you see the lesson? Do you evolve through the lesson, or do you repeat the lesson? All right, last one. Make room for the new beginning that's on its way to you now. With commitment, things will get, if it's done right. Just saying. Okay. All right. Let's really break down this person's feelings. Alright, I want to get their feelings for you. Oh. Oh, they're dreaming as well. So they are thinking about this right now. Again, mental anxiety over it. They could have just had a dream about you. Okay. All right, so we've got new love. So maybe this person thinks you're in a relation. This is how they're feeling towards you. If they've got love in their energy, that when they think about you, they also think about their connection. But this is about new and improved butterflies and romance. So I do think they're wanting to accelerate this. From what I can feel, I will confirm everything with intention and tarot, but they do go over the cycles and it stresses them out. Can this work? Okay, I do think that they feel this is quite a protected connection, but I do think sometimes they feel you're psychically attacking them. So how we had that deviation about train of thought, I think this person thinks the same because they think about you a lot. So they're like, are they thinking of me? Are they like, there's something here. I do think this person sometimes thinks you're accessing their energy, just like you think they're accessing your energy. Incoming communication. They're trusting destiny. They can feel something closing in. So they're definitely activated here. Why do I feel this person's very detail prone? Like they could be very observant. They could be an air sign. I just feel this person dissects everything. It's like, do I wait? Do I wait for divine? If you guys met serendipitously, I do have a divine collective, which I find is very beautiful, but the masculine that's connected to you, especially if you just, it was a very fateful encounter, I think sometimes they say to the universe, if this is meant to be, we'll bump into each other. Or even if there's distance, and it's like they know there's distance, they always look for you in crowded rooms or spaces, or it's like they still just believe you'll just pop up. I think sometimes when they want to communicate, they do. They're like, do I just wait for destiny to take over, is what I'm hearing. That's nice. I'm going to say this. This just came to my mind. I'm going to say it. I feel this collective father wounds, which would affect their divine masculine. I feel this collective... You feel that this person doesn't know where you live, but I think they do. Like, I'm going to say it, it came to my mind. So even if you live a while away, it came to my mind, I'm going to say it. But father wounds here, so maybe they're going through certain memories to do with their father as well right now, daydreaming about traumas and stuff. But they are healing their inner child through the astrals. Maybe they've been having quite vivid dreams about childhood trauma that maybe they blocked off. I always say trauma from a young age. You know when you can be in a conversation with a family member and they bring up something and you're like, I don't remember that. What are you talking about? It's a trauma response. We block off things. And if we've had that from a child, we've had that in our whole life. Or you speak to a friend, they're talking about something that happened a year or two ago. You're like, what? I don't remember that. It's like a coping mechanism. I feel this person is accessing certain memories right now that they had once forgotten, to do with father. This is when they think of you as well. So, which means if they're going over their behavior, and they're starting to realize when they think of you, there was so much greater trauma here where I don't think they ever accept their betrayal, literally. Why do I feel this person thinks you've moved on? Or maybe they moved on quite quickly. Underneath new love, new and improved butterflies and romance, it either means they know they're not going to get this until they own certain things. So you know to stop focusing on snake energy because that penetrates fear into their thread. If you're so focused on snake energy or fox energy, that's all they're focused on. Will I be forgiven for this? Will I be forgiven for this? Right? Betrayal or not, everyone needs to heal. We've all been a snake at once upon a time. I don't care what anyone says. So this collective, good, you're transitioning out of that. So I'm hearing that. Or this person think that you moved on very quickly and they felt betrayed by it. Or vice versa. They moved on very quickly and they have regret for it. I'm hearing a couple things. Cycles. But getting cut, good. Love it. So even though they're reflecting on these cycles, they still know they have courage. So they're going over the damage and the frictional cycles, and they're starting to understand why it all happened. Bravery, determination, persistence. I think for so long they were bound to this as being toxic. You couldn't get onto the same page because they were so 3D about it. They weren't understanding it. They weren't understanding people could heal and this and that. But because they've been activated, they're starting to develop and expand their mind, especially when it comes to healing and trauma. Very good. Probably your best row. Okay. Courage, even through all the broken cycles and the stuck layers. And I heard king. Every time I see a lion, I hear king, because I think that's Lion King is like does something to me. That was actually the first movie I ever watched with my nana, who we were speaking about at the start. It was the first cinemas I went to like the first time I went to the cinemas. And it's funny because that was in Kingcumber. Stop it. That came to my mind. Why does my nana keep coming up? I hope no one's lost their nana of recent. Okay, this still, it frustrates them. I do think this person sometimes feels that you access their energy. You've got to remember your magic, psychic. Magic hasn't come out. Actually, I want one more for that. I do think sometimes this is the burden here. I think your person either thinks, and I kept saying remote viewing, maybe they think you remote view them, or you, I actually feel they do think sometimes you look in on them. One more. Oh. Hold on. Sorry, that one stumped me. They could think mirroring. I think you both think that. That goes back to the start. Why do I feel you both think you're in connections? Unless there was a marriage involved. But the mirroring, back to the start, the deviation about the train of thought. I think you both sometimes get frustrated maybe, or... One more. A bit of awakening. It is happening. The kundalini, kunda toot toot. Whatever this is, it's developing. Okay, there's a reason I say everything, and there's a reason I explain that for you guys. So maybe you releasing that will help them release that. Okay. All right. Let's just get intention, and then I'm gonna get tarot. Okay, true intention. Oh, that came out quick. Oh, that's good. We love that. Oh, that's really good. Oh, this is really... So they are working on their worth. They've got glowing up. They've got breaking free from the illusions. They've got inner child healing. And they've got surrender. So you guys, like I said, it's just little tiny tweaks you need to make in your mind. I really feel the right collective. You have been on this journey for a long time. I'm working on myself every day. So keep working. Do the 90 days. Or the 70, whatever you want to do. It'll help. I hope to improve spiritually, emotionally, to become a better person that deserves you. I'm slowly moving forward in my life, and I hope to reunite with you one day. This is what they're stressing about. They just don't feel good enough just yet, but neither do you. Neither do you deep down inside. And this is why sorting out all of those things that still harbor and make you frustrated with yourself and you wish you could be better with, do it. Okay. My obsessive thinking got the best of me. I allowed my emotion and others to control and dictate my actions towards you and our connection. I finally understand I need to trust my intuition. Very good. I have made and used excuses in order to control or sabotage our connection. But now I realize the only way to heal is to mend, acknowledge, and forgive the past. Love it, which is leading them to surrender. I'm ready to surrender myself to our connection. And 64, my favorite angel number. I think that's our creator's number. I think our creator's energy print is the flower of life. Just saying. I will no longer run away from it. I will no longer deny it. I am trusting the universe and our love for one another. Taking off the mask. Love it. All right. Cosmic love at the bottom. Okay. Woo. All right. I'm going 2 months ahead. That's what I'm going to do. You know what? Why am I getting called to do my light seers? Again, I feel that's one of my like oldest decks. I never use it, which makes me feel, again, another confirmation, older generation, and long time on this journey. I never use this deck. Okay. Not anymore. I used to love it. I think the imagery is beautiful on it. This is a very good starters deck to activate intuition, the imagery, and the colours in it. Okay, next 8 weeks. Why do it? Hold on, I'm going to cleanse this. Hold on. I might as well do so every time, especially because I haven't used it for so long, but I like to always cleanse out because I deal with so many energies. But you guys should do this between readings, or especially when you haven't used a deck. Whenever you get new decks, I always say you should always cleanse as well, because they've been in warehouses and stuff. You want to connect to your deck. So cleansing is very important. That went out quite quickly. Doesn't need to be too cleansed. Okay. All right. Okay. Next 8 weeks, please. Oh, oh, oh. This feels so unfamiliar. Beautiful. Okay, 7 of Cups in reverse. Clear. Clear and focused. You're on target. Your claircognizance is on fire. You're in your knowing. Okay. Magician in reverse. So again, clear inception point. Magician is beautiful, master manifester, but he can confuse himself as well. He can play a few. You've got 2 cards here about focusing. Focusing, clear vision. Okay, we've got 10 of Pentacles and we've got Page of Swords. Page of Swords, I think this needs a very intelligent approach. He's my little detective. I think he's someone that gathers a lot of information before he acts. Okay, so 1, I think you've got someone that's gathering more information before they approach, and you yourself need to gather more information. For some reason, I know this is about the next 8 weeks, I feel you have an abundant flow that kind of really takes place for you in the midst of all of this. There could be some things about family that come up as well, but I do think this person is your happy ever after if handled right, and just slow. You've got all the time in the world. No need to rush. You guys have been through a lot. So he's going to need an intelligent, focused approach here. But I do think what's coming towards you is not confusing. It's got a clear direction. This isn't someone coming in to manipulate or play tricks on you. It's going to probably be more of a swords approach, quite logical. Okay. I feel more of a logical approach than emotional approach. Kind of more logical and grounded. So you don't want to have an emotional outlook on it. Okay. But I also think in the next upcoming weeks, you're going to start being a lot more focused and clear state of mind and being, especially if you get these little things into place. Like we said, the lists and stuff, the 70, 90 days, whatever you want to do. I think because you start to focus, this person starts to focus, because you both have a bit of mental anxiety right now that needs to be cleared. Okay. Perfect thing to be focused on and noticing that this is my God, my precious, so fixated. So narrow, lack of mindfulness. So as soon as a possessive kind of fixated lack of mindfulness approach comes over you, okay, just constantly you know this isn't right, okay, you pull yourself up on it and you switch your thought pattern. So I think this is what's more coming up in the upcoming weeks for yourself, because this is going to improve your threads. Okay, I just want one more to confirm that. And also, just side note, maybe there is some things you're feeling like you have to really save at the moment. You're being a bit frugal, but I'm just hearing be more mindful. That just creates abundant blocks. Stop stressing about things you don't need to stress about, okay? Whatever you fixate on, remove with stillness, okay? Your claircognizance, your clair knowing, and have more belief. balance, justice, it's just lessons. So this energy, Four of Pentacles with Seven of Cups in reverse, they're really going to illuminate how your mindfulness can kind of diminish when you're too fixated. Okay, just kind of ride the wave over the next couple of weeks. But I think this is what you automatically pull yourself up with. You have a clear vision when this comes over you, and you understand it's not the right outlook. Nine of Coins. Oh, my battery's just, I'm on 20%, I'm going to have to hurry up. But Nine of Coins underneath Magician. Beautiful. So there is something about abundant flow coming in for this collective. Remember, she's my mini empress. She thrives in her independence. She's fulfilled. She's literally independent. She's got her shit together, right? And this is what you're focusing on. Your independence, your fulfillment, things that make you feel centered. I do feel you have an achievement coming in, and not just to do with love, okay? And also confirmation, whatever you're stressing about financially, you don't need to. Just let go, surrender, and trust. King of Swords, I said that before. So swords energy and the approach, more swords. So it's going to come in more logical, okay? It's going to come in quite powerful and action prone, but a little bit detached, but you can't work yourself up over it. I do think you're connected to an air sign. Everything I say is for a reason, but it's the approach that's coming for the Ten of Pentacles. So don't let it overwhelm you, okay? And truth, he's very truthful. And then you've got Ace of Swords, breakthrough with the truth and clarity, okay? Epiphany, this is very beautiful. Okay, Six of Cups, you've got your return, your nostalgia. Very nice. Your next 8 weeks, you've got a massive breakthrough with finances and with love, if handled properly. It needs intelligence, it needs logic, and it needs patience. You need to gather information before reacting. There are certain truths coming to the table. I would have, just again, that's been a theme this week, more of a logical than emotional approach. I do think, I'm staring at that crow. I think this is going to be a sign for you on the day of arrival. Okay, I'm seeing a crow on a fence specifically. Remember me saying that. Sorry. Nearly on 10%. All right. That means I've been blabbering for a little bit. Okay, if that whole reading resonated, these charms will resonate too. That lightning just fell out of the bowl. And E. Why did I hear Emily? Or M? Oh, wow. So we've got E, P, S, J, G, M, and R. Okay. And I. 5 cents transformation. Could even find 5 cents on the day. On the ground, 2021. Maybe that's an important year for you and this person. The hums of hand, your protect. Signs. You're going to have very powerful signs. See them in your spirit, your angels, the universe, your ancestors. Beach. Oh, there's another letter in there. M in the shell. Very nice. Very nice. Golden elixir and trust the divine. Okay. I just want to get you some dice, and I quickly want to get you one more deck, just very quickly, 3 cards. Sorry, I've got to pump through this. I'm worried the phone's, if it goes black, it's because the phone went out. 14th of the 5th, 15th of the 5th. That is so funny, because I was talking about remote viewing. I've got to say this quickly. I saw this video of this remote viewer, and she talked about being invited to the moon. Anyone that's on my Snapchat, I remember I told you the story about my dream where I went to the moon, and there was a whole group of people. It was like a maze to get into, and there was this big round table with all these people, and they kept saying the 15th of May. And I saw this woman who literally, she explained the exact same thing I saw in a dream. 15th of May, I feel, is very important for something worldly. Just remember me saying that. 8th of the 4th, 4th of the 8th, 20th of the 4th, 64, favorite angel number. Okay, one more. 15th of the 8th, 28th of the 7th, 1st of the 6th, 6th of the 1st, 8, 888. All right, so I just want to get you guys... Okay. Forgiving and learning. Okay, so just patience, release, understand we all have trauma through this separation. It had to happen. Okay, just you're loving yourself so this person can love themselves. Focus on self-love. This had to happen. It's not unrequited. It's not this. It's not that. Your reconciliation is coming. Stop focusing on the negative. Focus on the positive. Your separation will close in. Forgiving and learning. Release the negative. Write down everything you want to focus on that's going to help you improve self-love, self-talk, inner monologue for the next however many days you choose, and you've got this. All right, I love you guys. I'll be on TikTok a little bit later. Love yous.